Oh boy, it's another video talking about how the City of the Wolves beta performed. I mean, yeah, I'm putting my opinion out there, but like for all the videos that are already out there talking about the issues of the beta that happened last week, I mean, what could I really add to it if anything, right? Like we all know that the matchmaking isn't that great. We all know that the UI is kind of odd and functions a little weird. If anyone isn't aware, when you're moving around in the UI and the menus, it responds after the fact that you've pressed your button. Like once you release the button, that's when the game will read what it is that you've inputted, and like that just feels. That honestly feels like you're underwater somewhere in a video game. Like if you're playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and you're underwater in the second stage, just like this feels gross. I don't like moving around in this. Let's get to what I found to be fun, and obviously it's the fact that the movement, the gameplay, like as you're in a match doing stuff, when the matches were playing good and steady, that like it felt great. If like moving around as Hotaru was amazing, moving and doing combos. If anything, like you're actually able to get the inputs down, and the game is able to read those inputs. So like if you're trying to go for an anti-air DP, it actually reads it. If you're trying to go for an IB, as long as the match that I had or if you had was steady, it actually read it, and it was great, and it was amazing. I wasn't able to delve too deep into the mechanics because I won't complain that, oh my god, no training mode, but you know, having an area to like try it and see for myself and test stuff out is nice. I mean, when the game comes out, that's when and where I'll be able to look stuff up and see like, oh, I can do this to punish this attack once I IB it. If that's where like the balance that SNK sees, like that's how they're viewing what should be good and bad, you know, I think that's fine. It's kind of similar to how Guilty Gear will make something like -3, and people will be like, this is crazy, why is it -3? But then it's like, oh, if you IB it, then it's throw punishable. Oh, well, when you IB it, like, you don't get pushed far away, and you're able to get this as a punish, right? So I don't think having stuff balanced around that is too bad. There's plenty of pushback on moves already. It's just getting used to the mechanics and such. And thankfully, like, the game didn't feel... Because I had an expectation that it was going to feel similar to King of Fighters, where if you want to have, like, a special move link right after another special move, it's usually best to do the input and then hold the button, because the game will read that held button and understand from the past input that you did that, oh, you're going for this special move, so we're going to cancel to this, like, literally frame 1. So the fact that City of the Wolves doesn't have that, and it feels like you're able to time stuff once you have the timing down, I think that feels great. The idea of being able to link again in fighting games, like, it's honestly a nice feeling, coming from 2013, which is like around the time when arcade edition of Street Fighter 4 came out, 2012. Going into Ultra Street Fighter 4, that's when I came in. So having that free flow, having that freedom of just being able to decide how I want to combo, even having the decision playing Hotaru of just like, do I want to go for the palm move, like do I want it to be a hard KD or do I want it to be a soft KD, and like mix the opponent up as they're rolling, and like be able to corpse hop over them as they're teching and then mix them. Unfortunately, I had a match that was like perfect for that, but I wasn't recording at that time, so I couldn't get the footage of it. A little sad, but it is pretty cool that again, you're able to decide for yourself how you want to go about your combo routing, and I think that's a big positive of City of the Wolves. Being able to, because immediately when going into matches, I would look at the SPG, see where it was, and then kind of decide like, okay, do I want to end this combo right now so that way I prevent them from having SPG, or do I want to try and maximize the combo as much as I can in order to get them out of SPG if they had it in the beginning of their life bar. Like little stuff like that is very nice. It has you more involved as you're playing, and again, it creates more combo diversity because you get to decide how you want to go about everything. Now, the bad part, of course, is the fact that the matchmaking was terrible. If there's anything that I could add to the conversation, it's the fact that I would say from my experience, it has felt like the higher the rank I was, the less people that I was able to find, and it added more to the wait time. Like, I've seen people talk about in social media how like they've had to wait 2 minutes, 3 minutes, upwards to 5 minutes. Where I stopped was A5, and I swear I must have waited 7 minutes for one match, because what I like fondly remember is that I had Spotify Shuffle on, Kendrick Lamar was playing, the whole song played, it finished, and I was still waiting for a match. And that realization of just like, dude, how am I still waiting? I listened to a 4-minute song and I'm still waiting on a match. This is crazy. And like at the end of it, when I was able to find a match, it found me someone from like Central Asia, and it was like, oh yeah, you want to play this 1 bar 350 MS match? No. Because I can say from the first day of me trying the beta, I ran into someone that had like, I think the max that it went was like 1759 MS, something like that. And I was like, that just brought back some PTSD moments of like old delay-based, fighting games that I played before. Just like, get me out of here. Like, I didn't know whether to Alt F4 or not, but if I had done that, it would just be more waiting. I really do not appreciate how before you accept to fight someone, all it really shows is the MS and their name and how many bars that they have displayed. There's no Wi-Fi indicator, which I find very concerning, and I feel like I have to know what server region that they are from, because this was an open beta. You have people playing on console. Crossplay is an option to you would think to be able to play with more people, and it was just long. I couldn't find anyone fast enough. I just find it so baffling how that works. But again, going back to what I was saying before, of just like, there's no way for me to tell if people were on Wi-Fi or not. Now granted, people are going to stress test during a beta how the rollback is by playing on Wi-Fi, putting on a VPN and saying that they're from Japan or something. But like, there's no way for me to know when their name comes up. Are they on Wi-Fi? What server region are they from? Like, there needs to be more information for me to know, just so that way, like, I'm not going to enter into a match where there's going to be a lot of rollback, there's going to be a lot of teleporting. It's only after the fact, after the match, that's like, yeah, dude, you're playing against someone from South America. They're actually 1 bar. We goofed on you, bro. We were just playing a little laugh at you, some goose and gaffs. Or like, yeah, dude, this guy was playing from Central Asia. And like, granted, people could easily just go, if they can figure out how the UI and the menus work, of just like pressing start, going to the battle settings, going down to server region, and then changing the server region that way. But either way, like, there should be so many people playing from North America that I shouldn't be waiting 5 to 7 minutes for a match. Like, the only thing that I could guess was because of my rank on PC, that like, the higher you go, the game tries to find you people at your rank, and it just makes the waiting time just even longer than it needs to be. Like, again, there have been so many other content creators that have had and ran into the same problems. If you've heard it from one, you're gonna hear from others. You're just gonna hear the same story. Like, I guess if anything, this is just further proof for SNK, if they are somehow watching this, that it's like, Oh, yeah, no, this is just more of a reason why we have to do something about this. Now, for people talking about whether or not the game needs to be delayed due to the fact that this game is just 2 months away, I really don't know. I can't give a solid opinion on it. I think that this is, it feels, at the very least, this feels like the first time that America has been interested in an SNK game like City of the Wolves, because understandably, there are people that like King of Fighters in North America. There's no doubt about that. I'm not trying to put them down or anything, but King of Fighters also has this weird stigma for North America FGC that, oh, that's the game with the hard combos. Oh, that's the game where you have to learn 3 characters and you have to learn so many matchups because they add 60 characters. King of Fighters doesn't grab people's attention. When City of the Wolves was first teased at EVO 2023, I want to say, that really felt like the first time that North America was like, wait a minute, yo, I want to play this game. So seeing and knowing that so many people were trying the beta for themselves, it's great to see that, because I'm interested in this. I was interested in King of Fighters 15, but as history has shown, the matchmaking, the lobby system just did not work. Stuff's just not functioning, and it's a very bad first impression for someone that wants to get into the SNK games. And this, for people that are complaining, for people that are saying like, oh, you have to delay the game, and the others that are trying to defend City of the Wolves, I feel like that this is an issue of, hey, the past is repeating itself, and the problem is this is becoming a consistent thing coming from SNK, that for those that, whether they live through King of Fighters 15 or not, it's just the fact that, oh no, this can't happen. This is 2025. Game devs are aware that, like, you have to have rollback. Even Hunter x Hunter was aware almost at the last second, like, all right, we're gonna delay the game until we have rollback and that this is functional, right? Hunter x Hunter was supposed to release last year, and now it's coming sometime in 2025. They know that they can't flop on a game as their first impression. And I think for a lot of people that do enjoy City of the Wolves, because I think a lot of people do for the gameplay, but a lot of them, I think, are trying to stay positive while being concerned in trying to say this needs to be pushed back, this needs to be delayed, because this needs to be a good first impression. I'll also say for the lobbies, I don't understand how they think that this 9-digit code that they have is okay to do. Like, there's no way for you to copy paste it. There's no way for you, because this was the further issues for the lobbies of people saying that, like, they can't get into the lobbies. This is weird because like they can't go in if it's privated. In Exert and Plus R, you have a way to just go, like, you press start, you go down to where it says copy invitation link. It's automatically copied once you press it. You put the link down to whoever you're trying to send it to, and all that person has to do is copy the URL, open up their web browser, paste it, enter, and the game will automatically send them to the room, even if the room is supposed to be privated, even if the room is supposed to be locked and there's supposed to be a password. It sends them straight to it. The URL is literally like a master key, so that way people can get to the person that they want to get games with immediately without any issues. And I don't get why SNK or City of the Wolves isn't doing this. Maybe they don't know, but this just seems like something that, for as long as Plus R has been out, Plus R with rollback, I'll say specifically, because like Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, they're copying the fact that Plus R created Replay Takeover, and they realized, like, this is a really good idea, we're gonna take that idea for ourselves. I'm not trying to, I mean, okay, City of the Wolves should also have Replay Takeover. That'd be sick, that'd be nice, but what I am saying is this copy URL invitation link thing, they have to copy that for the lobbies, because the way they have it is too much work. No. It's just no. That cannot happen. Like, I have no other further comments, opinions, or statements on it. Again, if you've seen one video about it, you've seen them all. If there's anything that I would add in terms of like the characters, Vox is crazy strong. Like, brother has a meterless launcher that lets him go into EX launcher, and he's just able to go into party mode. Like, it's pretty crazy. Rock has shown that he's like understandably strong and like a solid character, and you know, people go into tutorial mode and seeing for themselves like, oh shit, this dude can do like 35-40% pretty easy. Terry and Mai, I didn't really run into a lot. Like, I ran into a couple of Terrys, and I think that has to do with the fact that like people saw that Terry has a lot more plus frames from his EX moves and his crack shoot than people kind of expected. But like, I even tried him, and he was so unstable. I don't know if it's because his lights don't have enough hits done, or his burning knuckle has like a very odd amount of startup frames that just makes it really inconsistent at times. Either he just wasn't complete fully, or they yacked him. They like took an arm from him. And an eye. An arm and an eye. They took half of his face, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on with Terry. I definitely felt like he was on the weaker side. Maybe not the worst character, because I rarely saw Mai. Like, early in the ranks, I was running into her. But as soon as I got to the B ranks and I got to A, she was an enigma. Like, I didn't run into anyone playing Mai. And I think the big reason for that is because she has a lot of good neutral buttons, but a lot of those neutral buttons don't really like cancel into anything good. You only really have far C as like your whiff punisher button, and then everything else is like you trying to play a little bit of a zoning game, a little bit of a neutral game. But when you have characters like Rock and Vox and Kane, and arguably Hotaru, who's able to reflect projectiles back, you have characters that just have really good neutral, and they're able to, if not zone better than you, just have better pressure than you. Yeah, I don't see how Mai could do well currently. Maybe when the game gets released, she'll do better, but she wasn't really that strong that I felt. In my personal opinion with Hotaru, I didn't really have a lot of complaints. Again, I wanted to have like a proper training mode. I think that her Reflect, her 214 B and D, I think that's like secretly her best move, her best special move, if anything. It felt like it was incredibly plus. It was great to use for block strings, just to like steal turns. And I wanted to look in more into like if there was ways to convert off of it like after the fact, because I know her stand C going into 214B was a combo, but it always felt and seemed like, oh, I could get like a DP break, or maybe an EX DP break if anything, so that way I could extend the combo. But I never was in a stable enough match to even try that. So I just left it as is. I was like, I'll just take the plus frames, I'll take the knockdown as is, and you know, continue playing. I'll just wait for training most, and then that way I can see for myself all the ideas I have in my head. But she didn't really feel too bad. I think the one issue that I had with her that I would ask SNK to fix, if not, you could say fix, you could say buff, it really felt like her close D had no proximity. Like, her close D is supposed to, it seems like it's supposed to be used for when the opponent is jumping at you, or it's like neutral jumping above you, and it's supposed to be like a pretty good anti-air option, right? Because you look at Vox, you look at Rock, you look at arguably Terry or even Kane, like their crouching heavy punches are pretty good at covering when people are jumping at them or neutral jumping, and you can't hit the DP fast enough, right? With Hotaru, it felt like I always had to be ready with a DP, but whenever I wanted to get close D, even if they were neutral jumping, even if they were forward hopping at me, I would always get far D. And it just seemed weird, like, no, it seems like I should be able to anti-air them. Understandably, if they're hopping, it's better for me to go for stand A to you know, get a quick anti-air and stop them from hopping. But whenever I was like, let me try and get close D right here, right now, just nothing. I would always get far D, and it was so weird. It was still anti-air. It was just weird to see that and not really get anything out of it. I don't know if SNK is worried that like, oh yeah, you get a counter hit close D, and then you combo into like 214 D reflector, and like maybe you get something off of that. Maybe they want me to use reflector as an anti-air. I don't know. It's just a little strange. If that's the case, that they want me to use reflector as an anti-air, make the hurt box a little shorter. Because there were a lot of moments where like it would trade, which I'd be fine with taking. It just seems weird that like close D itself is, it just doesn't have proximity to let me anti-air people close at me. So that's kind of really it. TLDR, calm Vox down a little bit. I think he can be the character that he is. You could calm down Rock a tiny bit as well, and just give that change to Hotaru and see how the game is from there, and I think it'd be fine. Main thing, as everyone has said, you gotta fix the infrastructure of the netcode and the matchmaking, brother. And also get rid of that stupid mouse, like, or please put mouse support for that weird lobby mouse. It doesn't make sense. It reminds me of Guilty Gear Xrd Sign, how they had their lobby system, and that was simple because you would just move from like, okay, battle 1, battle 2, battle 3. You would just move from that, and then when you select that, you would be considered a spectator if two people were already fighting one another. I don't understand why you have to maneuver the mouse without any mouse support just to go to the match or the battle section that you're trying to go to. And yeah, there's nothing really telling that person unless they're eyeing the screen. Like you have no idea if they're AFK or not. You have no idea if they're using the bathroom or if they're looking at something else. There's no sound, there's no indicator that's letting that player know, hey, someone just pulled up, you should fight them. But yeah, that's it. Just adding to the pile of other videos that are saying, yo, fix this please, SNK, please fix this. I don't know, if the game gets released April, I'll be putting combo videos out and learning the game's characters. But yeah,